let you go. But if I have to beg, plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't you proud to beg, sweet darling? Please don't leave me, girl. Ain't you proud to plead, baby, baby? Please don't leave me, girl. Now I heard a crying man is half a man with no sense of pride. But if I have to cry to keep you, I don't mind weeping if it'll keep you by my side. Ain't you proud to beg, sweet darling? Please don't leave me, girl. Ain't you proud to plead, baby?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Baby Love Music Hour. And yeah, I decided to call it the Baby Love Music Hour. So anyway, I'm here. I'm Bobby Baby Walker. And I'm here with my co-hostess, Renee Marie Testa.
Hi.
And she is the president or the founder of Language of Love, Renee Marie's Language of Love
Foundation.
And you want to tell the audience a little bit about the foundation?
Yeah, I'm really excited. We're having our second annual telethon this coming March 20th, 2016. I can't believe it's 2016, and it really is going to be awesome. We're going to release the information on our September 19th show of who's going to be proceeding from the telethon. But honestly, our mission for the foundation is to have an annual telethon, which is our second, for stroke and aphasia awareness. Strokes are the 5th leading cause of death in the United States and the 1st leading cause of disability, which is really disturbing, very disturbing, very disturbing. And yes. And the other thing is we found out that that 80% of strokes can be prevented. Up to 80% of strokes can be prevented if you know the signs. And FAST is really one of the key logos. Is that what the word? Key. Well, it's really your face.
It's a key word.
Yes,
that they use to describe the symptoms.
Yes.
Of a stroke.
Yes. So it's your face. If your face is drooping, or your arms, if you can't put your arms up, if they fall, if they're off balance. FAS. Smile. Your smile. If you smile and your smile is off, not equal, which mine is not equal anymore because I've suffered because I've had a stroke. And T is really, this is the most important thing. It's time. Time within it. You have within a 4.5 hour window to really make sure that
to get to the hospital and have somebody look at you, and that if you're outside of that time, then the chances of having some kind of a reversal is not good.
Yeah, and in one of our logo, we really molded into this because this comes from the heart, is together the world. We're trying to join everybody. On our last telethon, we had the American Stroke Association, which is phenomenal. Sharon Bean is phenomenal. The National Stroke Association, who I just met in New York City on September 1st. It's together. We're lifting our voices and changing the face of strokes and aphasia around the globe. And the globe is because of this Madhouse studio, the platform that they provide for us on the internet to reach out to the entire world.
Yeah, Madhouse. Yeah.
So we're really privileged. So.
Okay.
So anyway, so thank you, Bobby. We're really proud. I just met with a person this morning. It's going to be released on our show on the 19th, who just donated some money to us. Her husband passed away from a stroke at a young age. and she really wants to help to support an organization. And she really, we were honored to share with her that our organization benefited from the fundraiser that she has annually for her husband. So
I'm sure we want to thank her for the donation.
Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
very nice of
Yes,
her.
yes.
And I'm sure that it will serve to keep her husband's name alive.
Yep, yep. She's,
at least.
yep,
you know.
she's keeping his memory
Yeah,
alive.
yes.
And there's a bunch of people. And like I said, we just met this morning Judy Marlowe, who is, you know, a really key component of our foundation, along with Bobby and myself. She's going to write up a press release. We're going to send thank yous to them. So watch for it on our Stroke of Luck show next week. We're going to be doing a little press release and thanking her publicly with a photo of herself and her husband on the air. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting.
And so, other than that, we're gonna go on and start our music program. I've said in previous shows that there is a universal beat, and that beat is like a clock. It keeps on ticking. All right. And in that beat, within that beat, we can group different beats together to make them longer, shorter, syncopated, etc. Okay? So the click, you can call it a click, or you can call it a beat, you can call it.
Didn't they have those on on a piano?
Yeah,
what is
they
that
have
called?
a metronome.
A metronome.
Right. The metronome just keeps on going back and forth, and you can raise the weight on the metronome to make it slower, or you can make lower it to make it quicker. Okay, but that will keep the beat for you, and you have to sort of internalize it. If you're going to be a musician, you have to internalize the beat. You have to be able to hear the click at various speeds in order to play pieces correctly or accurately. Okay?
Bobby, don't some songs have different beats to it?
Yes.
Don't they mix beats to it?
Yes.
What do they call that?
There's a lot of names for it. Okay, because first of all, there's the timing, the time signature, which groups the beat in twos, in threes, in sixes, all right? Meaning, like for instance, in six, it means that there are 6 beats to each bar or each measure, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then you move to the next bar, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it moves to the next bar, etc., etc. That's how time elapses in music, according to the click, or how many beats to a measure, all right, which is the top number of the time signature. And the time signature is those 2 numbers that are in the beginning of any musical piece, okay? So the most common is 4/4, which would mean there are 4 beats to each measure, and the bottom note 4 means that a quarter note, you know that when you split a pie, it's in quarters, and they use a 4 to indicate a quarter. So in music, they use a 4 also to indicate a quarter, all right? So every time you see a quarter note, that's 1 beat elapsing, all right? So in 4/4, there's 4 beats in each bar or each measure, and then it moves to the next bar, and then there's 4 beats there, and then to the next bar, okay? And that's how time elapses in 4/4, okay? Now, meanwhile, the universal beat is still clicking, Okay, so you have to do it according to the universal beat. All right, and the universal beat figures into the beats. All right, I don't want to confuse you now. You choose the speed that you're going to go in, or the conductor chooses the speed that you're going to play in, and that's the speed that you have to continue at all the way until the end of the piece of music, or unless the music says that you have to slow down or speed up or whatever. Okay?
I have a question. I heard when I've heard the phrase "in the pocket."
Right.
When you're doing a beat, you should stay in the pocket. Is that?
Yes, that's that has to do with the sound and the groove of a piece of music.
Doesn't it have to do with the beat as well?
It has to do with the beat, and which means that you have to be right on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you're not on top of it, then you're not in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I've heard through the musical world that they said if you're going to do anything, you should be a little bit behind. Is that true?
It depends on what kind of music you're playing.
Okay.
Like if you're playing jazz, you can be a little bit behind.
Because it's almost like you're waiting,
Right,
like that
right,
anticipation, like
right.
when's it coming, and there it is.
Yeah, yeah. You can be a little behind, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm not that familiar with how it works in jazz because I'm not a jazz musician.
Right.
However, I do know that you don't want to do that too much.
Right.
Because
Right.
it tends to make you late for the beat. I mean, the
Right.
beat is there to keep everybody together.
Right. Right.
Okay?
Right.
Like the guitar player, the bass
Right.
player, the drummer, everybody has to be moving at
Maybe
the same.
maybe it's the vocalist. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Maybe if the
Vocalists tend to in jazz, all right, they tend to style a song that they'll syncopate it. You know, they'll put it the strong beat in a different place.
right.
Okay, and therefore changing the feel of the song.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and they can do that all through the song
Right.
to create a style.
Right.
All right, and
But that's what I think is good because it makes you unique. You're not
Yeah,
doing
of
what
course.
everybody else is
Of course,
doing.
Of course, yeah, yeah. I do that with a song called "Get Ready" by the Temptations.
He says that's excellent.
I change it a little bit, in order to give it my own feel.
Flavor.
Yeah, and at the same time, I use parts of the original to move it along.
Right. Right.
And I think I've performed that several times during the show.
Yeah,
in the
we've did it on
past,
my show a
in the
number of
past.
times.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a good song.
yeah. So, but that's one of the reasons that's one of the ways that the pocket can change and influence the song.
Right. Right.
Okay. So we're moving along beat by beat, all right? Every 4 beats, the bar changes. And when you're practicing songs, you should isolate the parts of the song that are difficult for you, okay? If there's 2, 3, even 4 bars that are difficult for you, you isolate each bar and learn how to play that bar or that measure, okay? And once you got that measure down, you go to the beginning and you play until that bar. Then you take and isolate the next bar that you're having difficulties with, and you play that. and then you play it like maybe, well, I don't know how long it'll take you to learn it, but as many times as you require to learn it, and then you go to the bar before it, and play the bar before it, and the bar that you had difficulties with, okay? And keep on playing those until you got it down under your belt, okay? And then you take and you go to the beginning of the piece and you play through until you play those 2 bars, all right? And then you take the next beat that you're having trouble with, okay? Or rather, the next bar that you're having trouble with, okay? And you do the same thing. And that's how you should practice. And so we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin. Galaxy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Baby Love Music Hour.
BBW.
And I am Bobby Baby Walker, not Baby Love, Bobby Baby
BBW.
Walker. All right. And I'm sitting here with my co-hostess, Renee Marie Testa, and we're talking about music. And we're hoping that you can follow along without any images.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean without any images?
Yeah.
But you, I got Bobby. I always say this. You have a way to describe things that's very clear and very understandable. You know, and you you're very good. You're a very good teacher. Very good teacher.
Well, thank you,
You're
Renee.
welcome.
That's nice to know. How do you feel about my teaching? Why
Tweet
don't you
'em.
write Baby Love Music Hour and or call us sometime when
What's your number?
When the number is, we'll have the number next segment.
You don't know. No. What's your number? You said to call
my
you.
number is 914-400-5670.
Again?
That's 914-400-5670.
He even did that in a timing, with timing.
There you go. And you can call me anytime, okay? Anytime. And you can ask me questions. If you don't understand something, you can tell me what segment you were looking at and what you need to know. And just call me and ask me, okay? I will be more than happy to oblige you, okay?
And you could possibly come on the show.
We can arrange that too.
So that you could start, you know, he could teach you in person.
We can do a one-on-one teaching situation with you if you like, you know, and if you're not shy, because, well, actually, if you're going to be a musician,
you shouldn't be shy.
You have to shed the shyness, okay? So think about that.
The music industry is very,
right.
very hard.
Right.
Very hard. You have to, what do you say to me? You have to get your, you know, you have to get your back, what do you have to, strengthen your back, or what do you say to me?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But it's like I have to, you know, not take things too personally. Just have to do your thing.
Right. Anyway, okay, so the universal beat is beating. Can you hear it in your head? It goes on and on and on and never stops, okay? And even when, well, the only time it stops is at the end of a piece of music. And it'll start again when you start playing again.
I actually prefer a song that has an ending than the songs that kind of fade off.
Right.
Because, you know, it's kind of like it's finished. When they fade off, why do they do that? Why do they have the songs that fade off?
Well, that's just a style of ending a piece of music, and sometimes they want to add something towards the end of the piece, and they're not sure how they want to do it, so they'll just put a tag on it at the end to let it fade out, you know. Or they might want to fade it because of a visual type of situation happening, you know. Anyway, so half notes are 2 beats. Half notes, whole notes are 4 beats. Okay, we're working with 4/4 right now. Okay, half notes are 2 beats. 4 beats is a whole note. 1 beat is a quarter note. And with the universal beat, you should be able to do 2 beats for half note, 4 beats for whole note, 1 beat for quarter note, and then you have 1/8 notes that are a half a beat. So it's the quarter note is ta, 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 and that also is a universal beat. It just keeps on and on and on and on, and you count every 4 beats. You move into the next measure. 4 beats and move into the next measure. Okay. Okay. Then you have half notes will be ta, 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 and like that. Okay. Every 2 half notes, you move into the next measure. Okay. 2 half notes again, move into the next measure, or the equivalent of 2 half notes. Okay? Then you have the whole note, which is ta, 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 and it keeps moving on and on to the next bar after 4 beats of the universal beat. Okay? And it doesn't slow down either. It is it's symmetrical and it's even. All right? It's pa, 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 and it keeps on and on and on and on when you see whole notes. Okay? Okay, then you have eighth notes, which are half of a quarter note. So we call it, I call it TT, all right, which illustrates the way it sounds. So it's T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T. Okay, and on and on and on. So every 2 eighth notes is equivalent to 1 quarter note. All right? So how many eighth notes do you have in a bar or in a measure? In 4/4, it will be 8 eighth notes. Okay? There will be 8 eighth notes in a bar. Same thing with the next fastest note, which will be 16th notes, and it will be faster than eighth notes. So eighth notes are T T T T T T T T, right? That's 8. 16th notes will be ta 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 ta. You count them: 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay. The beat is the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, and the E and a is added on to each beat. All right. So there's 4 notes to each beat. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Understood?
Understood.
Okay, very good. All right, so then we have next segment. I'm gonna play a few notes on the keyboard. All right, in a rhythm. Okay, the rhythm is the universal beat. All right, plus adding, grouping the universal beat in particular ways, which we just discussed. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Eighth notes, T, 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 T. Quarter notes, ta, 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 ta. And whole notes, ta. Okay? All right. So, let me see. Is there anything that I forgot? Oh, I'd like to you to think of it in terms of the scale. Okay, we discussed the scale and the various tetrachords. The first part of the scale going up, the first 4 notes is called the first tetrachord of the scale, and continuing up is the second 4 notes of the scale. The scale is made up of 8 notes from C to C, or whatever note to the same note above or below, depending on what direction you're going. So the second tetrachord would be the second 4 notes of the scale. And we'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. Are you on the ball list? You can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
Are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you a very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me something.
What do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
that's a big.
That's
nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sir, are you interested in
twisted
not?
Yes, I am. Sure. I see you got twisted.
That's twisted.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to go to commercial break, punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Baby Love Music Hour. We have been working or talking about the beat, the universal beat, and how beats work within music. And so we're going to dispense with that right now, and we'll pick it up next segment, next show. Right now I want to change to shift gears to talking about this book. This is The Musician's Business and Legal Guide. Now, you little guys probably don't need to know this, but later on you will, okay? The first, we're going to talk about the name of a group, okay? And first of all, the name of the group, when you're naming the group, it should be an original name, as original as possible, okay? And I'm going to read something from this book for you to understand what I'm saying, okay? It says, the first rule in selecting a name for an entertainment group is a simple one. Be original, underline. It can be very difficult to put this rule into practice, however. The field is a very crowded one. A brief check of a trade reference, such as the Billboard International Talent and Touring Directory, shows, for example, that there are two different groups called Full Circle, two different groups called Lost and Found, etc. Okay? Now, right here they're referring to a book, another book, called Billboard International Talent and Touring Directory. Okay? And that's where they found the names Full Circle, two groups, and Lost and Found, two groups. Okay? So which means that they did not do a diligent research on the name. Because once you come up with the name, then you have to find out if anybody else has that name. You don't just go and continue to use it, all right? You research the name to see if anybody else has it. And if somebody else has it, then you have to act accordingly, okay? And there are various ways of getting around a particular duplication, all right? But we're not going to discuss that right now, okay? I'm going to continue. One reason why it is important to create an entirely new or different name is to avoid being sued for infringing someone else's name. Rights in a group name or trademark usually derives from priority of use. Okay? That means that if you use a particular name a lot, the rights of the name may be associated with that. Okay? Like for instance, there can be a group called, for instance, Full Circle in New York. All right? And they use that name in this area. And so they are known for that name in this area. However, there might be another group nationally, all right, that tours with the name Full Circle, okay? And if the one in New York has done its due diligence and trademarked the name, the other group cannot come into this area and use that name because it's already established in New York as the other group, okay? And so the rights to the name is attached to the use, all right? Because the one in the group in Full Circle in New York would have used the name enough that they're known for that name in New York, okay? And that's what they mean by rights to being used by the name, rights to the name. Okay, this means that a prior group, even a small one, can successfully stop a new and more successful group from using the same name, at least in the area of the prior group. Reputation. Okay, that's what we talked about. Another good reason for being original is that it will be easier to protect the name if you are the first one to use the name or a similar name. If you know that there is already a group called the Sledgehammers, it would be a poor choice to call your group something like the Sledgehammers Band. Okay? And that's something that some groups do, okay? If they know that, for instance, the Sledgehammers is already a name being used, they will add or subtract something from the name. Like in this case, they added band to the name, okay? The Sledgehammers Band, which is different than the Sledgehammers. But it's a poor choice because it's so similar that it can be confused, okay? And it can, they may choose to litigate because of the name, okay? Because the name is so close, okay? Okay, service marks. A group name used for entertainment services is legally known as a service mark. So your name is legally known as a service mark, okay? What is the difference between a service mark and a trademark? A trademark is a brand name used for a product. A trademark can be a word or a logo, design, or both together. A service mark is also a brand name, but is used for service rather than for physical goods. In other words, the name, say for instance, the Temptations, all right, is a service mark, okay? A recording of the Temptations would serve as a product and therefore a trademark, okay, of the group, okay? All right. A group name, since it is used for the service rather than for goods, is a service mark. Can a service mark also be used as a trademark? Yes. For example, a group name can be used as a trademark for clothing, such as T-shirts, as well as for toys and games or other merchandise items. However, use of group name as a service mark for entertainment services will not necessarily entitle you to use the same mark as a trademark for goods. Again, in the U.S., trademarks and service mark rights are usually created by use, and therefore, in order to create rights in a trademark for a product, it is usually necessary to use the mark by actually selling the product bearing the trademark to the public. In other words, you have to use the name on the product in order to develop rights for the product, okay? All right. Although, what time is it? Okay. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to sing a few songs for you, and we will see you next week. So we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tatiana, and I'm a person in long-term recovery from heroin addiction. It was really, really hard, waking up in the morning, not knowing what to do, needing my next bag. I was so lost, but I'm here today to tell you that there is a solution. When I was in my active addiction, I didn't realize that there was another way of life. I thought that that was the only way, because it felt so good to get high, but it was all an illusion, and I didn't realize that. But today, being 4 years clean and sober, my life is absolutely amazing. I'm able to travel, I don't need a drink, I don't need a drug. I'm just happy being with myself. I couldn't understand for many years why was I doing this? It's because I was an addict, but I didn't know it. Today, many kids are becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol, but they don't know exactly what they're getting into until they're out of it. And it's our job, it's my job, to stand for these kids, stand for their recovery, and fight for their addiction. So I'm the president of Onward Forever, and I provide recovery services and support. And we're here to help. We're here to just listen. Anything that we can do to help. If you need me, this is how you get a hold of me. Please call 347-244-1550. 347-244-1550. I developed this company to help you, our families, and our community to fight this crisis on Long Island and in our nation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Baby Love Music Hour. I'm Bobby Baby Walker, and now I'm going to sing for you. And this first tune is a tune called Moody's Mood for Love. It's an old tune, but not many people do it. And so I'm going to do it for you this morning, this afternoon. Okay? There could we start that again, please? Thank you. Okay, here we go. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty baby, you are the soul that snaps my control. Such a funny thing, but every time you're near me, I never can behave. You give me a smile and then I'm wrapped up in your magic. That music all around me, crazy music, music that keeps calling me so very close to you. Turn me your slave. Come and do me any little thing you want to. Anything, baby, just let me get next to you. Am I insane or do I really see heaven in your eyes? Brightest stars that shine up above you in this clear blue sky. How I worry about you, just can't live my life without you, baby. Come here, don't have no fear. Oh, is there a wonder why I'm really feeling in the mood for love? So tell me why, stop to think about this weather, my dear. This little dream might fade away. There I go, talking out of my head again. Oh baby, won't you come and put our 2 hearts together? It would make me strong and brave. Oh, when we are one,
I'm not ashamed, I'm not afraid. If there's a cloud up above us, go on and let it rain. I'm sure our love together will endure a hurricane. Oh, my baby, won't you please let me love you and get a relief from this awful misery? What is all this talk, she says, about loving you, my sweet? I am not afraid, not anymore, not like before. Don't you understand me? So baby, please for yourself, together, do it too. My soul's on fire, come on and take me, I'll be what you make me, my darling. And he says, oh baby, you make me feel so good. Come and take me by the hand, come let us visit out there in that new promised land. Maybe there we can find a good place to use a loving state of mind. I'm so tired of being without, never knowing what love's about. James Moody, well, you can blow now if you want to. Okay, so the next tune that we're going to do is a Spanish tune, and it was originally on Mr. Joe Cuba's first album, and unfortunately Mr. Cuba died, passed about 2 years ago, and here we go. Okay. We are going to be doing it in a second. And Mr. Cuba's, the name of Mr. Cuba's group was the Joe Cuba Sextet. And he sang in English and in Spanish. Maybe some of you would remember one of his tunes. This is, the tune that I'm going to do is actually the flip side of a song called To Be With You. And maybe you've heard of it. Joe Cuba was the one that made that song famous. And on the flip side, this song, Como Ríen, is the equivalent of To Be With You. Okay? So, como ríen todos enamorados, alegres y encantados, como ríen. Mi adorada, pensando estoy en ella, recuerdo la llamada cuando le dije así. Yo sé que tú me quieres y yo también te adoro. De mi dulce canción, aunque estamos distantes, tu alma acallaría a que mi corazón turbulenta. las pasiones encendidas. Oye, por teléfono te llamo, pues no puedo resistir, y tu voz yo quiero oír. Espero que al hablarte tu voz como la mía esperanza tendrá de encontrarnos un día. Pero mira, porque lloras, si tú bien lo sabías. And that's a beautiful song, all right? And it talks about the yearning that a young man has for his lover, and how he hopes that her soul, and her heart and soul feels the same way he does. And it says, when he calls her, he hopes that he hears that in her voice. And then it ends. Beautiful song, beautiful song. Okay. The next song is a Drifter song. And Up on the Roof. When this whole world starts getting me down, and people are just too much for me to face. I climb way up to the top of the stairs, where all my fears just drift right into space. On the roof is peaceful as can be, and the other world below can't bother me. Let me tell you now, when I come home feeling tired and weak, I go up to where the air is fresh and sweet. I get away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise down in the street. At night the stars put on a show for free, and darling, you can share it all with me. Let's go up on the roof. How many of you remember those days when we used to go up on the roof and suntan and all that? At night, the stars put on a show for free, and darling, you can share it all with me. I keep on telling you, right smack dab in the middle of town, I found the paradise that's trouble-proof. And if this world starts getting you down, there's room enough for two up on the roof. Yeah, up on the roof. Hey, come on, baby. Come on, darling. Everything is all right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And that will conclude our broadcast of Baby Love Music. we're going to say goodbye to you, and until next. And here we go. Bye.